Welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream for Ustream and recorded for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. I'm working in the Colin Thompson Fantastic colour book, and I'm doing something slightly different today. I'm using my book of colours, but I'm using it as a colour swatch guide. I'm using the Derwent pencils in their original form as a pencil, so you can get them out and kind of leave them, the ones that you're using, so you've got some continuity, or you can put them away and get them out at different times. Now, if you just bear with me 2 seconds, I need to just cause an avalanche in order to move my water pot. So I'm going to leave the pencils there, and the beauty of these is you can scratch, you can draw over the top and just leave your colour, because these are a lot bigger spaces. So my fine way of working probably would be too wet for this. So I've been sketching different, oops, I think you need the lid open as well so that you can put another layer of pencils on top. Probably would be better. So you've got 3 layers of pens, but I've left them in order because they're easy to look after. I would like to have moved my water pot, but you can guarantee if I move it, I will spill it. We'll just have a go. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Okay. Hide things everywhere. And the other grand thing you can do is to scrape a bit into a pot and add water, and you've got a wash. So these pencils are fab for doing lots of different things. And whatever you can do with these, you can do with Inktense. Now that's my gold, because I'm going to use the gold for all the windows. And I'm just quite desperate to move my big water pot, oops, out of the way. It's bound to get. Right, so I've got all the pencils here. I've got they're all in numerical order. I've got them all in numerical order here, and they're all grouped together. So the yellows are together, and the oranges are together, and the greens, and the browns, and the fawns, and the greys. So I'm going to have a look on here, choose the colour, get the pencil, and use the pencil as a pencil for colouring in. So I'll just zoom in. So thanks guys for stopping in. Oh, I'm on jumpy, sorry. So we'll zoom in a little bit so you can see how I'm working. So I've scribbled over here with a few different greens, but I've got the gold because I want to go into all these little areas here. So I don't really have a fine point, but I have a ridge, and that's going to give me some kind of so that's coloured in there. So we've got some more greens. So I'm going to have a look, see if I've got any more little windows that are pale. There's a cafe here, so again I think we'll do the cafe with the gold. It's just that more believable. If I don't like that, I can colour it in a bit. There's a house here, little houses here. There's a pencil sharpener there, look, and it fits. So we've got some little windows here. Oh, sorry, and it's instantly have I just knocked everybody off chat? have a look. Not sure. Hope it's working. So I've instantly got a little bit of something in here. And if I'm really careful, I mean, I should have a sharp point, but... And there's a window here as well. So there's, I think that's a window. So put all these windows in first. There's lots of hidden houses everywhere. There's one right up there, look. That's quite a long window, that, isn't it? So I'm not sure if I could do this for a long time, but I think that's a window. And that's a window there. That's an open window, that's a window. That's the bottom of a window. So I always kind of do this, and you can see all this light flooding out here. So again, you know, you've got the window, but then you've got this light flooding down here. These are windows, I think. Pretty sure that's a window. And I think that's, no, perhaps not. So I think we've got all the windows. Oh no, put this one here. There's one there. And then there's a little diddy one down there. So again, it's a good idea to have a really good nosy to find all the things. And I think there's a window there. This is water. There's a jetty. So the next thing I'm going to pick off is, oh, there's another little window there. That wants to be a bit of a darker colour, I think. There's a little sailboat there. He's got a jumper on. I think we'll give him a... And again, if I'm not sure what I want to do, I just have a look in my little book and think, you know, what colour would he want to be here? In fact, I may leave him, actually. I may leave him. We've got some rimmed glasses. They could be gold. They could be gold. Gold rimmed spectacles. In fact, I've just realised in my little mini haul, which I was going to take back, but I don't think I will now. I bought these. Do you know, I've got a funny feeling I bought them already. I just had... Oh no, I bought the... Am I a bit obsessed by Derwent? Just a bit. I've got the Graffy tint, so I might use those as well in their pencil form. But I was just thinking, then I am sure that I have bought that's an awful feeling when you think you've bought something twice. But never mind. If I open them, it doesn't matter. I can give them to my daughter. I just thought I would try these. And with all these mechanical things on other pages, I was just thinking about the spectacles. I could have opened these and used these, couldn't I? Because it's the gold rimmed spectacles. I could do that. I used the Graphite Tint for, can't think what I use them on their own. It's the only ones I don't normally mix. I just leave those on the side there. And there's the charcoal ones as well. I mean, they'd be fab for colouring in. It's just I don't think I can use them as normal. That's the only thing. So if I break into these, I think I like the antique gold, and I can do the spectacles. So I'm going to put that gold one back. I don't need the Graphite Tint because they're in the way. Put those 6, 12 there. That's the one thing I like about my little book is I've got a lot of room. Just trying to get the spectacles in. I'm going to have to do them like this. Right, so I've got Derwent Metallic Antique Gold number 83. And I've just realised there is room in my, in fact I thought actually that's going to look quite nice because the gold is there and then the antique gold can be dark. So oh, they're metallic, aren't they? So let's have a look. Again, I don't have a colour swatch, which is not a good idea, really. But we can have a play. Now, that wouldn't be there's a silver and a pewter. I think that would come across as a pewter rather than a silver, but the screw would be. The little screws would be silver. So we've got a little silver screw there, one there, and then one there, and one there. So I don't. Oh, I know what I didn't do. We didn't do the sooty, did we? I do apologise. I don't want them to be blurred. Are we? Spare me 2 seconds. Yes, it's fantastic, isn't it? And the size of it, actually. Spare me 2 seconds. I didn't realise that I hadn't sharpened up. Sorry about that. I hadn't sharpened up the camera. So there's a pencil sharpener. We could do a silver pencil sharpener. I'm going to get obsessed by shiny things now. This bit will be silver. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise I wasn't in frame. So this bit could be silver. And I think we could have a rose madder red. So rose madder is oh no, we want a reddy red. Do you want a red or a pinky red? pencil sharpener. We could have a blue pencil sharpener. We'll have a French ultramarine, which is, I can look on here and say that's 29. So I can look through my colours and say 29 should be there. So I can be quite light on that side, and then I can get a different blue actually for that, couldn't I? And then we can have a bit of blue on that side. Now, I don't have any points on any of these pencils. These are just how they've come out of the it's just how they've come out when I think I've sharpened them probably a couple of times, maybe once. So they're doing quite well. Oh, Suzanne, I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if it is or not. Oops. That's a cabbage white, so that's got to stay white. But I can actually do my usual trick and just put a little bit of colour on that butterfly. And it says flesh pink, but there's hardly any colour at all on that butterfly. But it's not stark white. Now I know white butterflies are stark white, but anyhow. Now is that, it looks like it's a cherry, so that would be rose madder, wouldn't it? Put that back on there. So madder carmine. I like madder carmine. So again, what I should have is my trusty little bit of paper, because actually then I can get rid of this if I want. I can just have a little bit of paper. So that's probably quite a nice cherry. So again, because I haven't got any points on here, so just just on the cherry. Now I'm going to have a point on the green, because, see if that green will go out yet, because it's quite a fine actual line. Is that one? Yep, I need a fine line on that one. And then there's a cherry. Oh, it says something else somewhere else as well. There's a bicycle over there. I need to start putting these back because I'm terrible for losing things. I'm going to tip those out of here and I'm going to put them at the bottom. I'm going to put those at the bottom. Now that's ultramarine, which goes over there. I am trying to keep them all in order, but these, I think there's 12 italics can now go in the bottom of my tray, because there is space for another 20 at the bottom. So trusty piece of paper, What else can I pick off here now? This is another tree here. Oh, what's that F for? I don't know what that is. There's an F there. I don't know what that's for. Is there a window on the stump? Yes, it possibly. Yes, I've missed all the tower. I've missed all those off there, so we'll get the gold out. This is not metallic. This is the Derwent pencil number 3. Yeah, there's so many windows. In fact, I didn't think that was a window, but I think it's giving out some light. So I can go over that one. I think that's just the window bit there. Look, I spoiled that, but never mind, it's my eyesight. It's not easy working with all these pencils, I have to say, but I love them. I'm just not used to using them like this. Mineral green, I think, is a darker one. I liked the cedar green and grass green. So have we got any grass? Yes, we've got some. Possibly got some grass. Yep, I think this is grass, isn't it? Here. So we know what colour we can do this. We know that all this can be grass green. And we don't have to do anything else to it. And because of the type of grayscale, you really don't have to do anything with it. So I think that's a little bit of grass on there. Can't get that point into there, but never mind. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. But I'm going over everything once. I couldn't go over everything about 10 times, but just once. And we need some grass over here. I'll have a look at the metallics. I haven't done them yet. So again, I've got grass green number 17. And just very, very roughly, just, and I can't put a lot of pressure on. Just scribbling a little bit of green grass. Oopsie. Really should go up and down if it's grass. Because grass grows up and down. It's, we'll just see how we go. It's not too bad at the moment. But it doesn't get me at this time anyway. It's in about 3 hours. That's when it starts to take effect, but we'll persevere with this because it's another way of colouring with my Derwents, and I'm just going to have to wrap my legs up because it's rather cold in this little cottage today, and I don't have my big socks with me. I've left them in the other room. So we've got some grass. I think that looks like a house or a bit of a mountain. See, there's another thing here, look, with an H on it here. What on earth are these? Oh, I have to show under the spectacles. That's a doorway, so I want the gold again. and that's a window, and that's a doorway giving light out. But that's water, but that's fine because that's going to go like that. Whoopsie. So I was playing with these, and I think I used cadmium yellow. Cadmium yellow. Just scratching over the top. And there's hardly any pressure on there because I can't do pressure, so that's kind of working quite well for me. I'm just putting a little bit of this yellow on all those leaves. They're all going to be the same. And then probably going to use a cedar green. I don't know if that was the one I used last time. I don't think it was, is it? I can't remember now. I don't know. So I'm very carefully just scratching a little bit of colour in the dark areas. And you haven't got a point, but it's not bothering me so much. I just quite like thinking this is going to be quite fun. So it's, again, this is quite therapeutic, just having a bit of a play, looking at colour, looking at where the shadows have been already drawn in, so I'm just copying them and just kind of going over them a little bit to give a bit of definition. But this pencil is not really sharp. But I put a bit of colour on there, and then I think probably I might just put a bit of colour on here. Just a little bit of something on there. And I'm going to use this one to go under here as well. Just a smidgen. Just under there a bit. It's a bit of a wrong angle for me. But so we've got a bit of grey on there. We've got a brown jetty there, which would be a fawn colour, I think. Let me have a look. We've got a Van Dyke brown, so let's have a bit of a look at a Van Dyke brown. Yeah, that's probably going to be a jetty colour. Just put a little bit of colour on there. That looks like it needs some gold. I think that could be a door. So we now have a tree colour to find. So copper beech is quite nice. Yep. So I think we'll have copper beech. And again, just very carefully stroking that over the top of there. So it's not really nipping, it's not quite as soft as the paintbrush, but then this one goes this way. And we've got a tower, but I don't know what to do with a tower. And we've got books and rocks. So I think do we think this is a tree? I don't actually know what that is. Sometimes you've got to look. There's a little bit of a tree stump there. You can colour that in brown. That looks like it's made out of rock. Most of these are made out of rock, I think. And that looks like a paintbrush, and that's a window, and that's a window. So there's lots of windows on this. There's a video, Mountain Dreamer, about my little book, but what questions did you want to ask? What questions do you want to ask? But there is a 2 or 3 videos. If you look on Bunny's Designs on YouTube, there's quite a few, and there's a playlist. I think it's My Little Book of Watercolours. I think that's what it's called, and you'll find lots of videos with lots of different different things that I talk about. So it can be when I'm using the payless, or one of the very early videos is me actually making it. And I think on Pinterest there's a lot of photographs of cutting up things. Right. Yes, because I called it a Polly Pocket instead of a pocket photograph book. But ask away. I shall just find some more trees. I'll show you the one I've made for Carol, because this is Carol's. She won the giveaway. I'll zoom out a bit. Yes. Now, I didn't realise at the time, but it's actually, it says on it extra water. But I didn't realise at the time. You see, this is what I made mine out of. Mine was just a prototype. I just cut some plastic up and used it. But it's sea white sketching paper. But I'd made a mistake, so I shall have to make another video, because on the sea white paper, I can find one. I can't find one now. It does say on it. It says it's 140. Let's see if I can find it. It's 140 GSM. Ah, is that it? I don't think it is. No, it can't. It's got a hole in it. Just bear with me. Where did I put it? You see, this one is 140, and it's got a pencil, and it's got a paintbrush. It's got a pencil, and it's got an ink pen, but it doesn't have. The water brush mark on it. But I would think this would probably do. This is what I thought I could use. But when I found my sea light one, it says on it extra water. Ah, I've got to, is that it? Wait a minute. Yes, this is it. It says acid free 140 GSM, extra wet strength. Made in its sea white of Brighton. So you want the 140 GSM, but you want extra wet strength. Because although this seems as good, it's the fact that it's extra wet strength that I've managed to keep wetting these paper palettes, and they haven't dropped to bits. And then I've used, see, mine's made up of 4 of these. These were the Polyviews that were, you got 4 for £1, I think, from the pound shop. But because they haven't dropped to bits, I've made this one a solid piece. So there's the Derwent in there, Graphy Tint. I wouldn't use watercolour paper. Do not use watercolour paper. Well, you can try it, but I wouldn't, because watercolour paper absorbs water and colour, and we want the colour to sit on top. I mean, that's why I think mine's lasted so long. It'll take being wet, but it doesn't go to mush. But if this was watercolour paper, the colour would just soak in and you'd lose your colour. You wouldn't be able to use it probably twice and then that's it. Whereas mine, I've used mine for years and it hasn't. I don't use it very wet though. I don't pour water all over it. I use small brushes because I use it for colouring in. But I think it's because I've used this 140 GSM acid free extra wet strength, and they're only 99p, couple of pounds. The bigger one you buy, the more you cut it into squares, so the cheaper it is. But you could buy an A4 size, this A6 size, and just make your squares in it and don't even bother cutting it out and putting it in one of these if you really wanted to. Yeah, but what's it coated with? I don't know. And the other thing is I'm a tight Yorkshire lass, so I wasn't going to use expensive watercolour paper for this. But I wouldn't use watercolour paper because the watercolour paper is designed to absorb colour and absorb water. So the minute you do it, and if you rub it, it'll just fluff off. Because if you use your watercolour paper and you keep your paintbrush rubbing and overwork your work, it just rubs off. But by all means, try whatever you've got. Try whatever you've got. But mine's only lasted because I've used that sea white. Bristol board might work. Anything might. I just do it because I just find that's rather expensive. And I'm just a tight Yorkshire lass. But I didn't expect the book to last. I did not expect it to last. So I made it out of photocopy paper and a 99p sketchbook. I think they were 1.99, 99p that side. The A4 size, which is printer paper size, I think they're 1.99. But I would think the Daily Rowney sketchbook, graduate sketchbook, would work because it's quite good, and it takes ink. But I'm sure I've seen it where it will take watercolour. It has a paintbrush on it. But I mean, this looks quite good. I've watercoloured on this, but not wet like you would, wet on wet. I've just done it fairly dry. Yes, copy paper. Yeah, cheap copy paper. That's to make the pages, and then I've stuck the colours go onto this paper, this sea white paper. The colours go onto here, and then you stick these onto there. But I mean, you could just get this book, cut it in half, and then just scribble squares on it and use it just like that. Actually, you couldn't do that. That's ridiculous. You need the plastic between them. I haven't got my brain this morning. You need the plastic between them so you don't contaminate. So you've got your colour, and then you need your plastic between. And you can use this as a palette if you want to mix your colours, but it has to be wiped and clean and dry before you shut it, because any water that sits on here is going to activate these. So you need your plastic between, but you can use a pocket view, you can use the old-fashioned ones. These, I bought quite a few of these for £1. These are a lovely size. And because they're designed for a photograph, there's a big spine in it. It's got a good spine, designed to take another piece of paper. And if I actually put, in Carol's here, I actually put the, what do I call the first one? The Peerless. Peerless? Yeah, the Peerless watercolours. I actually put them, sorry, there could be a bark alert. I actually put them on a piece of photo paper. So where you print your photographs, it's shiny. That's photograph paper. Sorry, there could be a bark alert. So that's photo paper. Uh-oh, here we go. I'll have to stop the... I'll have to stop this. So this is the end of part 1. Thank you for watching.